Greetings, Keishlings. Keishan Prime here with another My Hero Academia Power-Up video. Today we're tackling Tenya Iida, aka Ingenium, or kind of a funny thing because he doesn't have like like the whatever hero Ingenium. He could be the speed hero or the stiff hero, because he's like a stickler for the rules and he's by the book kind of guy, so that'd be funny. The speed hero one would fit better, but I'm sure that one's probably been used at some point. But anyway, moving on. How I do these videos: we do a equipment, super move, general power up concept, and because this is my hero, we get to do quirk evolution. First up on the equipment log, I have Trackstar rollers. These are a skate modification to his existing boots. So they would be retractable wheels, and like using his engine's exhaust, his quirk engine, he could use the exhaust to propel himself. This would reduce fuel consumption, and it would allow him to easily build and maintain momentum and speed. Because like he'd go from like a flat foot run to, the Trackstar rollers come out and then he just starts zipping on. Plus it acts as a alternative like form of transportation, like because he could easily and casually just skate around the urban environments that he would patrol as a hero. So yeah. Plus I just wanted to find a way to use that stupid thing that he did during the sports festival where they were going across that I want to call it like a canyon, but it wasn't really a canyon. There were like these, but they had to go across the ropes and stuff, and he was just kind of putting along on the rope, and I thought, okay, he could do something with that. But next up is the body luge. This is inspired by street luge, which is a sport where you lay down on a large skateboard looking apparatus and you roll downhill and you race, mixed with kind of the rollers from the Return to Oz. I thought of them for some reason. I don't know, I'm weird that way. It's a full body costume modification where it gives his suit like strategically placed wheels all about it. So like a couple on the forearms, like one on the heel, like 6 to 8 on the front and the back, and maybe a mohawk of ones on his head. That'd be kind of cool. And then of course some on the front of his legs as well. So yeah, something of that nature. More on this later of how it could be used. Next up is the wire dispenser. Please come up with your own ideas for a better name, because I could not. This is like a wire dispensing kind of either a gun or some kind of apparatus. It would allow him to tie up his enemies because, he normally just fights people, barehanded. But this, maybe he could use it in other ways. And then after he's beaten them up, he just restrains them and waits till the police comes to get them and restrains them further and hauls them off to jail. And plus, like, the fact that it's a wire, like, you can imagine, like, if you aren't really super durable or whatever, that, like, if you started to try and break the wire, you're going to cut yourself pretty bad, and that'll stop you from wanting to break out anymore. So, yeah. Works on two fronts. Next is a thing called Ingenium wings. These are going to be like elbow or forearm mounted, like, blades. They're like little wing, like, rudder blades. And their main function is to improve turning mobility while going at extreme speeds, because this is inspired by like the fact that his brother's engine quirk is on his elbows, and also he's mentioned that like at higher speeds it's harder for them to turn, like as easily as they do normally. So, at slower speeds. So I thought this would eliminate that problem entirely. To kick off like general power-up concepts, I thought Iida could benefit from a few different like fighting styles. The first one being capoeira, the Brazilian fighting style. It focuses on like quick maneuvers, kicks, spins, and some acrobatics. All things that our speed boy Iida excels in. Get it? Or could easily learn depending on like how he uses his quirk. You know, he already uses a lot of kicks and stuff, so he would probably adapt into it pretty quickly. And then it just has like an added benefit because it's a dance. He could use it to just relax in general. You know, maybe he won't become so stiff and stilted all the time. Next fighting style that he could benefit from is Taekwondo, which is another martial arts style. It's a Korean one. It focuses heavily on lower body and leg fighting maneuvers, you know, kicks and the like. It's famous for like jump kicks and spin kicks, so yet again, he already does the kicks, so why not, you know, take a martial arts that specializes in it. Next is called I had two names for this. One is called Luge Dance or Luge Dodge. Using the body luge's full potential to evade enemy attacks and to set up his own, because just like with the street luge where like they're low to the ground, like he could like be running at an opponent, they like shoot a projectile or something at him, and then he, you know, dives down. Because he's got wheels on his front, he'll start rolling as soon as he hits the pavement. He'll get up close to them. They will be like, what just happened? Especially if it's like an energy blast and it obstructs their vision from being able to see him actually going underneath it. That'd be very beneficial. And then he can just like, you know, hop up, punch them in the face, kick them in the face, whatever. And so he evades, sets up his own moves, things of that. But it also has like the added bonus of like he can then like use the rolling to pick up momentum or maintain momentum. And then because, you know, he's got like wheels all over his body, depending on like the terrain, the angles it is, like he can always stay in some form of upright and like keep better balance. Like say there's a wall that's like, okay, the wall is sideways or slanted. He can have his arm on the wall and be having one leg outward, ready for a kick, and he's maintaining balance, so he's not like worried about being knocked over. So I've thought of that. And he could do like spin attacks and things, very similar to like break dancing. So yeah. Next is Tactical Detour. This uses the wire dispenser, where he'll use wires to set up the wiring to set up wire traps along like possible escape routes for villains and stuff, and it'll direct them towards either an isolated area or, you know, to reduce, you know, civilian injuries and casualties, or set up an ambush if he has allies at the time. Additionally, it could act as its own form of deterrent for the civilians, because like they would see it, and like because, you know, heroes are always being followed by the public and they know some of their like moves and everything, they'd be like, oh, there's wires everywhere, okay, that means Ingenium's nearby, we best not go over there, you know, because the villains will possibly show up here. So it acts as that benefit. And then finally, we have the Tensei Tsubasa, aka Heavenly Conqueror's Wings. This is actually somewhat inspired by his own brother's name, Tensei. This takes an aspect from his latest attack, Recipro Turbo. After he activates that, I noticed that like he basically takes off into the air. So while using like the Ingenium wings, he could actually direct himself mid-air and then do kind of like aerial maneuvers to, you know, like glide or almost fly short to mid-range distances. And then, you know, like he could do this and then set up a flying kick kind of thing. Maybe that should have been the actual name, like the Tensei Tsubasa Flying Kick. I wanted it in Japanese just because of the whole Tensei connection, but here it is. But yeah, that I can't really think of much for like evolution for him, other than like he gets like an afterburner effect, like just the fire just starts pouring out of his exhaust ports of his engine. So then like it just gives him a super boost, but that's kind of turbo. So, I don't really know where else to go with him, to be honest. I came up with more than I thought I would, to be honest, because I was struggling for him. But yeah, let me know what you thought of these ideas. Any ideas that you've had for our running speed boy. And yeah, thank you for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on these. Here's where you can find me. Links down below. And until next time, Keys Wings, roll out.